Good morning to sir. My name is Mei Yen and my matrix number is 2777137. Today I'm going to present about the impact of household expenditure during pandemic COVID-19 in Penang. Let's come to the first part, introduction, where included background of study. The first COVID-19 cases was detected in Wuhan, China. The COVID-19 spread rapidly to the world. Malaysia also not accepted. Therefore, Malaysian government forced to implement lockdown. It brings an impact on unemployment rate high and also household income drop. As a household income drop, household will change their spending pattern on reduced household expenditures and also purchase more on necessity goods. It leads to consumer price index, as we call CPI, going to have a rising trend. So it also leads to household living standard getting worse due to paying more for goods, household facing financial burden. In this research paper, we are going to have 4 research questions. For the first one will be, what are the demographic characteristics of residents in Penang? Second will be, do gender difference affect the household expenditures, household living standards, household income, and government policy among residents in Penang during the COVID-19 pandemic? For the third one will be, do different income level affect the household expenditures, household living standards, household income, and government policy among residents in Penang during the COVID-19 pandemic? The last research question will be, is there a relationship between household expenditures, household living standards, and also household income among residents in Penang during COVID-19 pandemic? So in the fourth part, we are going to answer the research question one by one. Let's come to the chapter 2, literature review. There are theoretical review in literature review. So for the first, we're going to have the consumption theory. According to Smith, consumption is the most important aspect of the economies and drives all economic activities. Second will be the income theory. According to the Mansix, income theory of money is to treat how nominal prices are formed by interactions of nominal expenditure stream with real stream of goods sold. The third part will be the living standard. According to the Townsend, personal standard of living are reflected to employee welfare benefit, including occupation, pension rights, private schooling subsidy and tax relief, and higher education grant and subsidies. The another part of literature review is empirical review. According to Ismail, where MCO was implemented, direct impact on their spending pattern. The spending habit of Malaysian households were based on their B40 and F40 income groups. It is because of the lack of savings, people have continued worry about their expenses. In chapter 3, we are going to talk about the research method. Research method is a method that we use in this research paper. First of all, type of study. We are using quantitative method and also the information are collected through questionnaires. Source of data is DOSM, where it's the short form of Department of Statistics Malaysia, and also Housing Census Malaysia for populations. Next will be the unit of analysis. Individual who living in Penang is our unit of analysis. There are 5 sections in the questionnaire design. Next will be the data collection procedure. We are using Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. Next, SPSS is the data analysis technique that we use in this research paper. Lastly will be the descriptive analysis, where we are using dependent sample t-test, one-way ANOVA, and lastly will be the Pearson correlation analysis. The chapter 4 will be the data analysis. Table shows demographic information of respondents. Gender. Female are more than male. For the age group, most of the respondents are under 30 years old. There are 10 Malays, 35 Chinese, and remaining will be the Indians who answer the questionnaire. For majority of the respondents are single. And lastly will be the higher education levels. Respondents are saying that university is their highest education levels. Next, most of the respondents' monthly household income is below 5,000, where there are 19 is less than 1,000, 14 is between 1,000 to 3,000, and the remaining will be 3,001 to 5,000. So next part will be the Penang district. More of the people who answer this questionnaire is living in the central suburban Bright. Besides that, cross-tabulation also implies in SPSS. So the table shows the cross-tabulations between ethnic and also highest education level among the respondents. Majority of the respondents are Chinese who holding university as their highest education level. Independent sample test. First, we are going to look at the household expenditures. The null hypothesis is there's no significant difference of household expenditure among genders. The alternative hypothesis will be there is a significant difference. So the result is the p-value equal to 0.548, where it is greater than 0.05. Therefore, we fail to reject the null hypothesis. Second, we are going to look at the household living standards. The null hypothesis is there's no significant difference of household living standards among genders. The alternative hypothesis will be there's a significant difference. The result is p-value equal to 0.548, where also we fail to reject the null hypothesis. Third, we are going to look at the household income. The null hypothesis is there's no significant difference of household income among genders. And the alternative hypothesis will be there's a significant difference. The result is p-value equal to 0.327, where it also greater than 0.05, so we fail to reject the null hypothesis. Fourth, government policy. The null hypothesis is there's no significant difference of government policy among genders. The alternative hypothesis will be there's a significant difference of government policy among genders. The result is p-value equal to 0.028, where it is less than 0.05. So we can reject the null hypothesis. For one way ANOVA, we are going to look at the household expenditure first. The null hypothesis is there's no significant difference of household expenditure among income level. So the result is p-value equal to 0.983, where it is greater than 0.05. So we fail to reject the null hypothesis. Second, household living standard. The null hypothesis is there's no significant difference of household living standard among income level. What is the result? The p-value is equal to 0.880, where it also greater than 0.05. So we fail to reject the null hypothesis. Third, household income. The null hypothesis is there's no significant difference of household income among income level. So the result is p-value equal to 0.428, where it is also greater than 0.05. So we fail to reject the null hypothesis. The last will be the government policy. The null hypothesis is there's no significant difference of government policy among income level. The result is 0.455, so it's greater than 0.05. We also fail to reject the null hypothesis. Pearson correlations analysis. The null hypothesis is there's no significant relationship between household expenditure, household living standard, and household income. For the alternate hypothesis will be that there's a significant relationship between household expenditure, household living standard, and household income. So according to these tables, the relationship between the household expenditures and household income is with p-value 0.081, where the significant is greater than the 0.01. So we fail to reject the null hypothesis. Now we combine all the chapter 4 results in the table, we can conclude that except for the fourth hypothesis, where there is no significant difference of government policies among gender, is rejected the null hypothesis. The all remaining other hypotheses fail to reject the null hypothesis. The last part is the policy implications. This research paper is helpful to government and policymakers. Fiscal policy can imply for these research papers, such as tax reductions and giving subsidy to people and enterprise. That's all from me. Thank you.